Hey everybody, I thought before we start our journey in literature together, we should just take a journey and travel around the class a bit. So I wanted to go through the class with you and kind of show you around a bit and make you more comfortable. So we're starting on the announcement page. I would always like to recommend that you check the announcements when you sign into Blackboard because most of the time when I send out an announcement, I also send it out as an email, but there are some times that it doesn't come to you in an email. So just always make sure you check the announcements. And for your first time that you come in the course, make sure you scroll all the way down and check all the announcements that are there. If you look over here to the side, you'll see buttons, links that you can click, and this is what's going to help you get through the course and around the course. So we're looking at the Start Here button, and you'll see that there are several things here. There's a course description, there are course objectives, there's student learning outcomes, and these are the things that I really hope that by the end of the class that you'll feel like you've accomplished. There's also this section here, this module that's called the important course information. And if you click on here, you'll see there's all kinds of information here. A really neat aspect of the course is that you'll see this table of contents, and you see that you can just click on each of these to find out what you need. And I would recommend that you go through all of them at first, but then after that, if there's just one thing you need to know, you can get to it really easily. You see here about our books. This tells you what you can expect from me as the instructor. Gives you a little information on what I expect from you and some of the class expectations. If you've never used Troy email, then this will help you get that set up. I really recommend that you always use your Troy email because if I send out a group email, it's going to go to your Troy account. We're going to use some different software. Like I've been saying, there's some cool things that we're going to do that I bet you've never done before, but it's going to be a lot of fun. So you'll need to install and download some different software throughout the course. So this gives you some information and some tutorials on these different types of software that you see here. VoiceThread, Google Earth, Mendomo, and Glogster, those are things that we're going to use for our final project, but throughout the term we'll introduce them to you individually and help you get things set up so that you can test them out and give them a trial run before your final project. Your midterm will be proctored, so just as soon as you can, you'll need to fill out the proctor information and get it submitted, so you'll have all that ready to go in week 4. And so this gives you all the information that you need here about your proctor. And then there's the eTroy policies and procedures, and this will go through and explain to you different important policies and procedures for the university. And so it's always great that you can kind of just look if you need to see what the makeup work policy is, you can just click there and you can find out that information. This just discusses netiquette and just using the discussion board comments. We want to make this a positive and enjoyable and learning experience for everybody. I've just made a little document here of some of the most frequently asked questions that I've had over the years. And then also, and I know there's a video of this on the announcement page, but again, it's just the top 10 ways to be successful in the class this term. You also have a site map, and it's going to connect you to a lot of different areas that you can also get to from the side. But if you're looking for one thing in particular, you can also go here and you just see all the different areas that you can go straight to from this section as well. We have a syllabus here, and I'm betting it doesn't look like any other syllabus you've ever had before. It kind of makes it more fun to read and to kind of goes along with our theme of a journey. So you'll see all the different information here that you probably will need. And you can just read this. You have a few minutes, and then the course schedule is in the back. There's also a course matrix thing here, and this is one thing I really like for you as the student to have a chance to view, because you'll see here we have the course objectives, we have the outcomes that we want you to experience in the class there, and then I also wanted you to see the activities and the assessments, the ways that we make sure that you get more bang for your buck, you get what you paid for. So this is just a neat little way to kind of look at the overview of the class and how we want you to leave the class. Here's my contact information. You can always click here. It's in the syllabus as well. You'll see a course schedule here. There's several different ways that I provide you with the information that you have for each week. Ultimately, the place that you always want to look is in the weekly activities in the module for that week for the actual no question, no extension, deadlines. But this kind of gives you an overview of what each week will look like. You also have a course calendar that will provide you with weekly information of when different things are due and when things open, etc. And this will get you to the weekly activities. Each week you will have a different module for that week. And so, of course, since we're just starting the class, we just have week 1 here. And each week is pretty much set up the same way in your table of contents. You'll see that we start with an overview where I just kind of discuss the reading for the week and some background information about it. You'll have the learning outcomes, what we hope that you'll feel like you've accomplished at the end of the week. Procedures just list the things that are in the module for you. Some just tell you simply that there's some things that are optional, but also tell you what your assignments are for the week. Each week you'll have a resources and assignments link, and this is where it's a more detailed, even sometimes like you see here, it'll link to your assignment. So all you have to do is click here and it'll take you to the assignment that's due. And then each week, well, I think almost every week you'll have a reading reflection and you'll just link to that, and it's an opportunity to answer some questions. And not only does this help you make sure you understood the story, but it'll also be very helpful as you write your literary essay. Over the years, I've been able to collect a lot of fun supplemental resources to make your readings more enjoyable. And so each week you'll see a link called Supplemental Resources, and when you can go in there, there's some different information about authors, about a glossary, some different literary terms that we discuss. But then you'll also see each week that there's a folder about what we're reading. And so you can go in there and take a look at some of the other things that I've gathered that just kind of make it more interesting and just make it a little more fun. Each week in your weekly activities, you'll be able to link to your discussion board if you have one, but this is also another way that you can get there. You'll see that there's a place called a help spot, and this is one place where you can ask me questions. It's really great to ask questions here that you think might be beneficial to somebody else. Now let me show you a little secret. If you click on help spot and you go in and you see this button where it says subscribe, if you click on subscribe, then that means anytime anybody posts in the help spot, it'll send you an email to let you know. So you might want to do that if you think that other people might ask questions that could be beneficial to you, and then you can always just check and see what the question or the comment was. And you might find out that somebody asked a question you didn't even know you had yet. The discussion board also has a place called Pages Place, and that's where you guys can discuss things that maybe aren't class related, or if you want to just maybe discuss something, there's something out there for your other classmates to join in a conversation about something you read or something you thought about. And again, here you can subscribe to that also. You'll notice that there are some discussion board guidelines. I just ask that you read these and that you adhere them and keep to them and keep them in mind while you're doing your discussion boards. Um, and then your first project is a getting to know you, an introduction opportunity, and it is something a little different, a little adventurous. It's a voice thread. There's tutorials for that to explain to you how to how to complete the discussion board that way. Um, you'll do this one, when you complete this one, then you need to do it by midnight on Thursday of the first week. And then on Friday, I will provide groups. On the announcement page, I will have an announcement that provides different groups that you're going to be in for the discussion boards that we do. And it just gives you an opportunity to interact with some other classmates and to get to know them a little better and to share some ideas and kind of just create a sense of community in the classroom. You'll see as you look over here, there's some course tools available to you, your grades, the helpful resources that we looked at a few minutes ago, and then there's Blackboard help and training. I'll be glad to help you. Anytime you have a question, please feel free to email me or either ask on the discussion board, but also don't forget about the help desk, because when you have technical issues, or let's say Blackboard issues, then the help desk will be a great way to get those questions answered. So now, after we've made our little tour of the class, it's time to get started. I hope you have a great journey and a great term with me.